Hi everyone. Hi everybody, Sanibonani. Welcome to my channel. Let me just close here because now I'm gonna be echoing myself. Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. Igama lami nguNtando Mdletshe, and on this channel, sikhuluma ngama-reality TV shows. And today we are going to talk about the Mommy Club, and this is the first ever review for the Mommy Club that we are going to do live. You guys listen, please let me know in the comment section if you can hear me okay, so that we can move forward. You guys, please tell me also in the comment section where you are watching me from. Are you also watching the show? How you feel about it? Who is actually your favorite cast member? Okay, I'm still deciding, you guys. I do feel like Mrs. Mobs is my favorite because she was my favorite from the Real Housewives, but she is messy, okay? However, I am starting to like Happy. I don't want to lie, guys. Her Majesty is doing the things. She's living a crazy life. She says some crazy stuff. She's parenting in a crazy way, but I like her for the show. She is really good TV. She's giving, okay? So I'm liking her anyway. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. Noluthando Masondo, thank you for joining me. Where are you from, Noluthando? You always comment on my video. You are like one of those my number ones on this on this channel, you guys. So listen, I thought I would do this review. People have been saying they are missing my face on the channel because for the most part I am doing my voiceovers. Guys, voiceovers are so convenient, okay? Because you can do them basically anyway. But if I had to choose between voiceovers and sit downs, I prefer sit downs. That's why when I started my channel, I did I'm a sit downs. I really like doing sit downs. I just don't have time a lot of the time to do them. If I have to wait to be in a space where I can do my sit downs, then you guys won't be getting AMA videos when you need to be getting AMA videos. You are from Fort Lawrence, Johannesburg. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I know you're one of those people that have been supporting the channel for a very long time. And thank you so much to 8 other people that are watching right now, you guys. So we are in episode, I don't know why I wrote episode 4. And Celia always corrects me. Last week I wrote that it was the review for episode 3, but it was episode 2. Today I wrote episode 4, but it's actually episode 3, you guys. So there was a bit of drama, but I don't know, you guys, how do you feel about this drama? Because it did feel kind of like, hi, man. Something is off, but we are going to talk about it. Okay, we're going to talk about it. Constance, Kosi, thank you so much for joining me, Constance. Tell me where you're from, you guys. I want to know where you're watching me from. Okay, so besides us doing this review, we're just going to get to know each other because I do want to appreciate the fact that you guys have been supporting the channel. If I look a little bit darker, you guys, it's because I'm doing this video while still in the office, waiting to go home, and I don't have my ring lights. Okay, so don't say that people are bleaching when we are looking light skinned here on YouTube. We're not bleaching the ring lights does actually make you look a little bit lighter. So if you feel like I look darker, this is actually my real tone and my real skin tone. This is how I look, okay? But I look a little bit light skinned when I have my lights on. 0 volts, Molo. I hear I have not watched the recent episode. Can we agree that the nanny may be the spicy one? The nannies may be the spicy ones. Zero, I actually we are having a different view with I'm having a different view with you on this one because I feel like I like the nannies, but it's almost like I feel like I wish they could have a different show. I feel like for this show, I'm constantly wanting to skip over the nannies, to skip the parts where the nannies are actually like doing ama scenes. I don't know. I'm feeling different about the nannies. I feel like I like them, but I just don't want to watch them. I want to watch, the main cast on this show. But I guess you guys are liking them. Hi, Jane from Roteport, Johannesburg. Okay, Johannesburg is here. Fourways, Johannesburg. Okay, where are the other provinces? Constance is from Fourways. Anyway, you guys, so in this episode, I will read the comments while I do the review. In this episode, you guys, I like that the first scene that we see was Mrs. Mops with her kids. Okay, I've always thought that Mrs. Mops was like the housewives, like housewives. She doesn't work, doesn't really have businesses. And I've always thought that when people are like housewives, you're not really gonna get kids complaining about not spending enough time with their mother because they are housewives. But I'm finding out in this show that Mrs. Mops is actually not really a housewife. I think she has businesses. She mentioned in the first episode that she has businesses too, and her kids here were actually talking about how she's not showing up as much as she used to for them. The little girl was talking about how she's not the one that picks her up from school, and also her son. But her son, teenage years, you guys, I have two teenagers. Sometimes they just would prefer for you to not be around as much. Okay, so I don't think that the son was complaining as much that the mother is not coming to school, because at some point you just become an embarrassment for them. Yes, you guys. But I didn't feel like maybe there is an issue with her being a mom, because I do know that as a mother, even when you feel like you do your best, now and then your child will complain about, something. I know recently with my son, because his father works closer to his school, so every time that a parent needs to go to the school, it will be him most of the time because I work far from the school. But there was a point where he was like, "But mommy, you hardly ever come to my school," and I was feeling bad because for me, I'm like, if I can show up, your dad can show up. I'm feeling like I was thinking that if he is showing up, then one of us is there. Then but he was feeling like it's like for him, he wants both of us there. So sometimes it's not really that you are a bad parent. You're doing the best that you can, but for the most part, kids just want you there. As a mom, they want you there. Even if the father is there, they still want you there. So I think it was just that for Mrs. Mobs. Hi Celia, welcome. We're talking about where we are. Okay, so you have to tell us where you are watching this episode from, you guys. So I really thought it was a cute scene with Mrs. Mobs and her kids, with her three kids. I thought the boy looks so much like his father. Am I the only one that feels like that? I felt like that, you guys. So it was just them showing us them at home. I guess because, you guys, the show is called the Mommy Club, they do have to focus on them being mothers. So now and then we have to see the kids. Now and then we have to see the nannies, and it's not real housewives. So we don't necessarily need to see the husbands, which has been the case really. Have we seen any of them? No, we haven't seen the husbands. So since it's not housewives, we don't need to see the husbands. Okay, so we're seeing the kids, and we are seeing the nannies. Listen, you guys. So then this was an interesting scene, you guys, which was Manche, Miss Manche, and Mrs. Mob's meeting. I think they were meeting for lunch. And you guys, I've noticed that when they are meeting in restaurants, the restaurants are empty. And I actually thought I'm not crazy, because when I went to I was reading Philip Pella's tweet about the show. He was also tweeting that, why do they always go to these empty restaurants when they are shooting the show, especially the Mommy Club? It looks unreal. It's not, it doesn't look like it's real scenes, like it's their real life, because it's always like empty restaurants, like they just booked a restaurant for the day and there's no one else there, you know. And I've been feeling like that too. I don't know if they would maybe ask the restaurant to not have people in the section when they are shooting the show, but it makes it look unreal, because a lot of the times when you go to a restaurant, there will be people there. But for this show, every time they go to a restaurant, there's no one there. It's just them. Okay. So that's a little bit weird. But maybe they are just trying to avoid people knowing what happened. Because if you have people in the restaurant, and then you have drama, and then people are seeing the drama, but it's before the show is out, people will be able to talk about the drama. That's why in some reality shows they would hire a restaurant, and then for that day, and then they would hire extras to come and act like they are just people in the restaurant, and then they can shoot the scene so that nobody else knows what happens in the scene. So I think they are dealing with that right now. Okay, so they are meeting for lunch, you guys. This is the thing that I'm noticing with Miss Mancha. Miss Mancha doesn't really want to share a lot about her life. And that's the thing about reality TV, you guys. Because reality TV, for me, I feel like for it to work, you have to be able to get vulnerable, share your real life stories, things that you're going through, and not be so touchy about when people want to talk about what's really going on in your life. You don't want to talk about it, you're getting upset about it. Why are you doing a reality show? I feel like Miss Mancha doesn't really want to share much about her life, but she's very much interested in other people's lives. Every time she sits down to have a conversation with somebody, she's going to talk about Her Majesty and what Her Majesty is doing. How do you feel about Her Majesty? But she does not want to talk about her own issues. That was a sit down between her and Miss Mobs. So they should be talking about what's going on with their lives, but they would rather talk about people that were not at the table, you guys. Mrs. Mobs did ask Miss Mancha how she felt about Ratile. Remember, Ratile was added last episode, and she came to the event with Her Majesty. She wasn't invited to the event, so she was a plus one that wasn't invited. But I thought that the whole thing went well because she was very nice and friendly to everybody, respectful to the fact that she was at somebody's house. I like that she brought the flowers, even though they thought the flowers were not looking as good. I mean, I was thinking flowers are flowers, people. As izinto zabantu abarich, Nkosi yami, they were like, these flowers are whatever. You remember even Ulebu on Real Houses of Johannesburg, she was like, no, you can't buy me flowers from the supermarkets. And I'm like, listen, I just want flowers. Just buy me flowers. So rich people's problems, okay? So yes, you guys. So they were talking about Ratile, and also Miss Manchi is saying that she's not feeling Ratile. Ratile is like the one to watch out for, and all of that. And I didn't feel like from the introduction, Ratile, there was anything that was giving that she needs to be watched. She's maybe a dangerous one or anything like that, you guys. So anyway, emails are coming in here, so just if you hear some strange noise coming in. Anyway, you guys, so I didn't feel like there was anything that Ratile did for them to make the conclusion that she's the one to watch out for, or something like that. So I was confused, unless there's something that has gone on between the two of them outside of the show, which they are not telling us. Then they get to speak about Happy being Her Majesty, how she is, and all of that. Okay, fine. And then she's trying now to tell that story of how the conversation between her and Happy went. Okay. Miss Manche and Happy. Okay. Remember the leaking of the cake. I was so tired of the cake leakage story. I'm like, okay, the cake was leaked by a boy. Okay, let's be over it. But she was trying to explain why she had an issue with Happy. The baby licked the cake. Happy said that is so wild. She got upset about it. Okay. This scene, you guys, I really felt like it was a setup because Mrs. Mobs did look uncomfortable saying to Manche, you know what, girl, but your child was a little. Don't you think it's a bit wild for your child to lick the cake? Okay. Which I agree with, guys. What child licks a cake at somebody's birthday? I know kids do crazy things, okay? And you can't control what kids do when you take them to parties and events and all of that. I get it, okay? Kids can embarrass you, okay? My son once embarrassed me. Like I was we lived in a place where we had a neighbor, so she had her own washing line and I had mine, but she would use my washing line sometimes. And then my son, one day in the morning, he's sitting there by the door, and then the neighbor comes to hang the washing. My son is like, "Kahle kahle, don't you have your own washing line?" The woman is like, what do you mean, boys? Like, hey, yes, and Jane, you must leave my mother's washing line alone. Go and hang your washing there by your washing line. And guys, I had never ever said that about I had never ever complained about the washing line because even me myself, if I had too much washing, I would hang at her own washing. The woman never ever came to hang her washing it. Never ever used the washing line again, you know. And I thought this woman thinks maybe I was complaining about the washing line, but boy was like, "Hey, yes, I'll have it. You know." So kids can embarrass you guys. But if somebody said, "Ah, ingane yakho iyadelela," isho kanje, nami I'll be like, "Yande, uyadelela little boy," you know, because in that moment, really, but it was just the innocence of a child. So it's like I do understand Miss Manche getting so upset about them saying the child is wild, but at the same time, the action was wild. For him to actually lick the cake, that was very wild, you know. So it's like I have mixed feelings. I feel like yes, I understand that she's saying no, only animals are wild, you know. She's taking it too serious, okay. So then she gets upset because then she's disappointed that Mrs. Mobs is saying the same thing that Uhappy had said because she was trying to tell her the story. But Mrs. Mobs is like, but Mngani, don't you think it's a little bit wild for a child to lick the cake? Because he licked the cake, you guys. So she gets upset, and I want to show you this part of it, and I hope I don't get into trouble. I'm going to show you a little bit of it, of what happens after Mrs. Mobs decides to say that because Miss Manche gets upset about it, okay?
Stop here. You know, we're on AB.
But a 5-year-old knows right from
No,
wrong.
he doesn't. That's why his mom has to tell him right from wrong. But she's not hearing me.
So when I call,
No. Ang Ali friends.
when I call, you also started.
Where are you going?
I'm going. I'm not gonna stand around for this.
I was not expecting that.
You guys are always talking about my children. Nobody's children are spoken about, only my children. Why are you guys picking on me? I don't
Honestly, you guys, I felt like Unehaba, I felt like she overreacted to the comment, you know. I feel like it's like they're shooting a reality show, but they forget they're shooting a reality show. When you shoot a reality show, every single thing that you do, you know, especially now because for them it's about being mothers. So everything that you do, your nanny does, your child does, it's just going to be turned into something, even when it's nothing. So I'm shocked by the fact that they are surprised that every little thing that their children are, you know, they're going to do is going to be made into a big deal when it's not a big deal. Like that reaction was like, but part of me as well, I felt like Ngati, it was a set up by the producers because Mrs. Mobs did look a little bit uncomfortable saying that to her, like, don't you think your child is a little bit wild? But also her reaction was unwarranted, you know. And then after she did that, because you would think that Mrs. Mobs would get really upset by the fact that they threw, was it water or wine on her dress and all of that. The reaction of Mrs. Mobs also was surprising that she just remained calm and then she followed her downstairs and then begged her to come back and apologize for calling the child wild. And then they come back and they sit down. And I'm like, this looks like a setup. It really did. It looked like they set it up. Listen, guys, we need something that is just going to hit things up and you know just one scene when somebody throws something at somebody you know and they were like don't worry, we'll give it to you. And then when they were like, okay, who's gonna throw what? To be honest with you guys, I'm over the drink throwing thing when it comes to these shows, my housewives and whatnot, women, you know, throwing drinks at each other. Like, I'm just over it. Throw something, throw a sock at somebody or a shoe, but not water and wine. I'm just over that. It's just overly done in reality shows now. It's like everywhere. Okay, but they ended up working things out. And she apologizes, Mrs. Mobs. They come back to sit down. She promises that she's never going to use the word wild again, referring to Miss Manche's child. But so I felt like with Miss Manches, she was like, okay, so I can't really trust Mrs. Mobs because she does say in the diary section, listen, my family warned me to not move too fast when it comes to these friendships. Okay. But I feel like at the back of her mind, because I think that Miss Manche thought that her and Mrs. Mobs were going to be, you know, and they were going to go after the others, which is Abo Majesty, Abo Nunurai, and all the others. But now she's realizing that actually Mrs. Mobs cannot be trusted. So I feel like this scene helped a little bit because after that, she's trying to pursue friendships with the other women. But also, I feel like Mrs. Mobs, she might have not reacted. I feel like Mrs. Moss, compared to the other women on this show, she's experienced with reality TV show because she's done it before. So she's very composed, she's gonna act proper in the scene. Okay, no matter what you do to her, she's gonna, do everything she can to act proper. But I feel like behind the scenes, if we had to check women's cell phones here and the message is sent to each other, something is going on. Okay, but we will catch up with them because it usually catches up with them later on. Okay, so they sit down and then it ends up being settled like that. Let me just see who's in the comment section. Nope, we have not seen the hubbies. Yes, we have not seen the hubbies. We want to see. And Mrs. Mops has managed now to be on a second reality TV show without us ever seeing her husband. Their fight is that restaurant was staged so much it was not fun. Yeah, I'm glad I'm not the only one that feels like that. Kids though, kids will embarrass you. Since I have a copyright from DSTV for showing a clip from Showmax, I hope you won't get into trouble. I hope not. Strike, I hope not. I can edit it out afterwards, but I think I've done 2 videos with it. I'll see you guys. I'll see. Yes, I might get it, but yeah, maybe I'll edit it out afterwards. So yes, you guys, and then after that, we just got another scene with Oratile and her kids, and with the nanny as well. Like I said, you guys, I don't know why Ama scenes with the nannies are boring for me. They really are. I don't know. I love the nannies, but I just feel like they need to be somewhere else doing their own show. But guys, doesn't Nunu Rise nanny look like Ndibuti's nanny? You remember Utando the helper? Doesn't she look like her and even speaks like her? For a moment there, I was like, Nangu Utando the helper. And then I was like, I know it's not her. It's just they look so alike. Anyway, you guys, so yes, and then the nanny was saying that she is the deputy parent or whatever. They really, all of them look like they have like good relationships with their nannies, which I guess it makes their lives easy because when you have somebody that you can trust to take care of your kids, then we can just do other things. We can just live the lives we were meant to live with the people that are helping us with the kids. Zero, but I find them a little raw and unplanned compared to the main cast. Yeah, maybe they'll do a better mixing in the next season. Okay, the scenes with the nanny look so pretentious. Yeah, I guess I'm not the only one that feels like that. I also got a copyright for using DSTV show. Please check and verify if you're safety. Yeah, I'm gonna check that. Okay. Anyway, you guys, so the next scene is Her Majesty trying to get hold of her daughter, the firstborn. They really look like they bump heads a little bit with her daughter. And I think it might be the fact that they are so much alike, okay? And so she's trying to get hold of her. She can't get hold of her. I don't know why. The nanny says that said she's going to the salon, and then but then she's not coming back home, and she was trying to cover for her. Guys, wasn't it weird? Because the nanny, Her Majesty, walks in the room and says, "Madam, Peggy, and can we go out for dinner?" So and then Her Majesty agrees. It's okay. We're going to go out for dinner. Don't worry about cooking. And then they have a conversation where they are all talking. And then when they are done talking, Her Majesty is like, you know what? It's late. Let's go to bed. Badlenin. Guys, badlenin. Those who watched, badlenin. Because I was like, how? Weren't you supposed to go to dinner because the nanny didn't cook? So it felt like they missed something in their scripting because that scene looks so scripted, and then they were supposed to go to, but then it's too late at night, they need to go and sleep. I'm like, hey, I don't understand. At some point, Her Majesty does call her baby daddy. That is a situation I don't understand, because she says the baby daddy hasn't been in her daughter's life for a long time. It's like the first time that she's in her life and whatever. But then he is trying to tell her how to parent her daughter. Man, guys, a man will not be in your life and then they will come Vumbuga, in your child's life, and then they will try to tell you how to parent a child. It's like, how was I parenting this child when you were not around? Because I know that some of the things he might be right, because I do feel like Her Majesty is too friendly with her kids. Guys, there is that thing where you say, I want my kids to be my friends, but it's a different kind of friend when you're a parent. Like, parenting comes first. You can't be a friend first. Okay. So I do feel like she is that friend to her daughter when her daughter needs a mom and needs a parent and needs to be parented, you know. So he has a point there to say, go to you too friendly with them. You need to be stricter with them. But I'm like, but who was stricter with them when you were also not around? So for me, I was like, I don't understand that. I don't understand a man that hasn't been around to come around and now tell you how to parent when they haven't been around. Anyway, you guys, and then the second boy says that she wants for her birthday. Remember, it's her birthday in June, which I'm thinking that is this past June. She said she wants a cat and a snake. I'm like, hey. Hey, ingane zabantu abarich. Guys, there's this channel here on YouTube called African Confessions. Who watches that channel? Yeah, you know, in that channel, abantu bathwala, there's cats, there's frogs, there's snakes. And then the child says, she wants a cat, she wants a snake. You say, hey, maybe Her Majesty just wanted a cat and a snake and said, "Hey, just say you want a cat and a snake so that, you know, I can justify why I have a cat and a snake here in this house." I thought that was weird, but maybe she's just somebody that likes pets, you know. But nowadays, we guys, asakholwa nje umuntu ufuna ukufuya inyoka. Inyoka, you want a snake as a pet. Even her, she said, "Go to what are people gonna say? People are gonna say nenyoka, you know, which she will have because it will be hers." So basically, it's a nenyoka. But that's what she said she wants. But guys, listen, remember, listen to how simple the thing is, because remember, Her Majesty was making a big deal about how she doesn't want to celebrate the daughter's birthday because it's around the same time when her husband passed. Remember that, okay? Now the daughter just wants a cat and a snake. She didn't even say she wants a party, so it might not even have to be a big celebration. You know, she just wants that, a cat and a snake. Can just get her a teddy bear or something, because this cat and a snake thing. Then please give thumbs up. So, yes, guys, please give a thumbs up to the video. Hi, Favor. Hi, Bafu Effects. Hello. Hope I'm not too late. You're not too late. We just started. And the Reds. Hey, and the Reds. Snakes, I won't watch. And the Reds, you know, that channel, you guys. Hey, the way I'm so obsessed with it, I listen so much to those stories. They fascinate me. Like, the love of money will make you do crazy things, okay? Rather than wanting to wait for the money. So anyway, that was a weird scene for me. Anyway, the way that it ended, because I thought it was afterwards, after they talk and everything, then they are going to go out for dinner, because of course the nanny said that she did not cook, but they didn't. Her Majesty was like, it's too late now, let's go to sleep, you know. But you guys, another thing, you remember that very sad scene that we watched with Her Majesty and her kids when she almost hit the child? You remember the little one? I was so happy to see her with the nanny, and she did not even want to go to her mother, but she did not even want to go to her mother. She was so happy and comfortable this time because the nanny is around. I was so happy for her, because I think Her Majesty is so busy. And I think for her, it's easy to deal with the older kids, because I guess they can take care of themselves. For some reason, it just sounds like she's irritated by her little one, you know, and maybe it's because she reminds her of her husband, her late husband. I don't know, but I just feel like she doesn't really want to be around the child that much. So I was so glad to see her so happy with the nanny around. So I really loved that scene for her. I loved it, you guys. So the next scene, you guys, was actually Miss Manche going to Ratile's house. this is the thing that I said. It helped to have a fight with Mrs. Mobs. That is, if the fight was real, it helped with Miss Mancha, because I feel like she realized I can't hang on to Mrs. Mobs as my friend, because they were going to be, just the two of them. Now she realizes this one can betray me at any point. So maybe I need to try and see if I can build other friendships with other women, because remember what she said about Ratile. Ratile, you need to watch out for Ratile. So now, why is she at Ratile's house now trying to build a friendship? Guys, is it Ratile? Because they write it as Ratile. Is it Ratile or Ratile? They write it as Ratile, but they say Ratile. Guys, please tell me in the comment section which pronunciation is right. Anyway, and I haven't heard her say her own her own name, so I don't know if they are right to say Ratile or it's Ratile or my English, they're just making it a little bit English, Right. So she goes to the house, which looks like, listen, before I could think it looks like Sun City. Miss Mancha was like, ew, your house is so nice. It gives Sun City vibes. And I was like, hey, she's going to be in trouble with that. I got what she's saying already, but it's like I can't explain it, but it does give like a Sun City vibes, It does give Sun City vibes, and I haven't been to Sun City, Anyway, it's a beautiful home, a big home, very nice, you guys. She is married to an older man. Okay, she said it's just 40. It's Jay-Z and Beyonce age. I'm like, guys, why do people make such a big deal about age? I don't get it. Okay, just say how old your husband is. 14 years older. Okay, let me just see. Let's count. Maybe she's like, what, 30, 32? Or her husband is what? Like 40 something. Aye, that's not bad. I didn't think that it's bad, like it's that bad. 14 years difference in age with her husband, but I think she thinks it's a lot because she makes a big deal about it. If somebody asks you, so what's the age difference between you and your husband, you would just say it. I mean, it's 5 years, 5 years, 10 years, 10 years. But if you think it's a big deal, then you're going to be like, oh, it's a Jay-Z and Beyonce age. And I'm like, yeah, that man is old. Maybe it's not 14, it's 24. She's bothered by it enough for me to be like, maybe it's not 14, But he comes with the lifestyle because they live a very, very comfortable life. Okay. Sometimes you have to be like, okay, ngingathanda ukuthi umyeni wami alingane nami. Uyabona leyo nto. Masithi, hey, you remember when we were back at school, nayathi, hey, yane, kungabi naleyo difference. Uthi, ayi phela thina at school besihlala ocansini, when I say mina, no, tina, we were sitting in desks. Hey, tina, we didn't have desks back then because of the age difference, But how is that gonna help me if he doesn't have money? So you have to think it's okay, let me get the one with the money, Anyway, Ratila also said that she runs some businesses, okay? The thing about these women is that they will always say they have businesses and then they're on reality TV shows, but you never really see them doing business. That's a thing. Like, let's see you at work, Can you please go to work? Can you please... Can you please just go to work for once? Let the cameras just come to work. Let's just see your desk. Let's see your desk. Let's see your PA. Ama-PAs abo asezindlini aphinda aphathe iy'ngane ngithi la kudlalwa ngathi labantu abasebenzi nje nabo, they're just rich housewives. It's just that, they're in the business of being housewives. Anyway, you guys, it was a beautiful house. And I think Ratila was very welcoming to Miss Mancha, who is very sensitive, you guys. Like, if you ask anything with her, it's like, she asked about the friendship about somebody that I don't know. Did I write it down? I can't remember. You were friends with somebody. What happened? You guys were best friends. How come now you're not friends? And then she's like, why is she asking me? Why is she interested? Why is she? I'm like, you are getting to know somebody. Okay, I granted, you guys, I do feel like Ratila was trying to get onto something. Okay, but I feel like just say, that friendship ended. I hate it when you ask somebody about a friendship, what happened, and then the person is like, they become Oprah. They're like, I know, when it comes to friendship, friendships are seasonal. Sometimes you have a friendship for a reason, and then sometimes you have a friendship for a season. Not the Oprah answer. When I ask you what happened to the friendship, I want you to say, that one gossiped about me. That one kissed my husband. That one stole my phone. That's what you want. And also, you guys, I think they mustn't forget that before they are casted for such shows, they would do a research on you. So if they know there's some drama, there was a drama, this one was friends with this one, talk about this on the show. So if you're gonna come, awufuna ukukhuluma ngehusband yakho, awufuna ukukhuluma ngey'ngane zakho, awufuna ukukhuluma nge-friendship yakho that ended, you become Oprah when they ask you questions. I'm like, hi, Miss Manje. So what are you gonna talk about? Akafuni lutho, mabebuza ngehusband, why is she interested? Why is she interested in my friendship? How does it grow you? It doesn't grow me. We are just doing a reality show. It doesn't, so I don't understand that about Miss Manche. And I felt like Ratile was trying to make a conversation. So obviously she wasn't impressed by that question. And also she doesn't like them talking about the fact that her husband is Nigerian. Imagine me not wanting the people to talk about the fact that my husband is Zulu. It's, kusho ukuthini uthi umZulu? Hi guys, yeah, your husband is Nigerian. So are you Jolofin? Hey, got Diana, you got Uratil. Uratil is like, do you know what they call people that date or marry? I thought it's just people that date Nigerians that are called Jolofinas, not when you are married, but I guess even when you are married. She was like, I don't even want to know. I don't even know. She could have joked about it. She could say, girl, yes, I am Jolofina, but look, me is married. I'm a married Jolofina, make the show fun. But she was like, I don't want to know that name. I don't want to know that name. Was I not bored by Miss Machi? But I think she could be very interesting on the show, but she's going to be boring because when it comes to her, okay? Plus, her child is not wild, even though he licked the cake. So we must just pretend with her, everything is proper. So now, you guys, remember at the meeting with Miss Mobs, Manche, they ended up talking about Miss Her Majesty and saying that they think they want to plan something for her because they're feeling like she's going through something. Which I thought is because she's going through, she lost her husband and whatever. And Mrs. Mop did say, but it doesn't look like somebody that wants people to feel sorry for her and all of that. They ended up making a decision that they're going to go to a rage house. The one of those houses where you go and break things, okay? All of us need that, okay? Some people... Especially now on YouTube, we do need, we've been going through a lot here on YouTube. We need a rage house, okay? You go and break TVs and break everything just to get the anger out or frustration out and all of that. So they have that planned, you guys. And they had a nice meeting, Miss Manche. That's why I'm saying Miss Manche was busy. But it's like she wants to build friendships, but she doesn't want people to know about her. So I don't know if her journey in building this relationship is going to be successful. Because she also did a nice meeting with Nunu Rai. They were going with the kids to some sensory play date thing. And I was like, Yazi, that thing would be very nice to take a child to, especially, a child with special needs. I was like, idea. Okay, that's why we watch these shows, Pela. We learn. So they're going to this place with their kids, obviously. So they're getting to know each other and all of that. But then again, it becomes about happy. That's why I'm saying, instead of them getting to know each other, they always end up talking about, Her Majesty. So they end up talking about Her Majesty, and then remember last episode, Her Majesty had told Nunu Rai and Ratile what had happened with her husband passing away in a car accident with the side chick. Okay, so when she gets here, so she hasn't told the others. Nunu Rai tells Miss Manche, listen, she shared something. I don't understand somebody that says with him, you know what, I was feeling heavy with somebody's secret. So I just had to share, And Miss Manche did ask her, does Miss Her Majesty, does she want you to share it? And she says, I don't think that she would mind. Of course, you know she would mind because it's something personal. At the same time, it's also that thing of you doing a reality TV show. You know that if you tell a personal story to the one person, it's going to go to the next, and then the next, and then the next, and then the next. So why are you fussing about it? Okay. So unonorai ngathi vele laba bazothutha indaba. So uyamtshela kuMiss Manje ukuthi phela husband yakhe yashona. Ihleli nesayijike in the car. But she didn't say it like that, you know. If it was ilokhuzana ibhayiscope ku-channel 163 ibizoba kanjalo yabo. They did it in the Showmax way. You could say, no, her husband, when he passed, he was with, she was there, yes. I don't think that right. In under normal circumstances where it's just normal life, you wouldn't have, you don't need to do that. If your friend told you something, like I have a group of friends, but there's things that I'm comfortable talking to one friend about than to the other. Maybe behind the scenes they tell each other, but the other one is not going to come to me and tell me about your life, because she knows what I haven't shared with her. She's gonna wait. Sometimes I say, I knew that. So I don't think that she was supposed to tell. So now they plan that they're going to go to the Rage House. They go to the Rage House. Miss Mantra is the one that is hosting ladies. They go there. About Mrs. Mops and Jenna, they have a problem with wearing my overalls and whatever. I'm like, because they're always so concerned about what they're wearing. So they had special overalls organized for them instead of the ones that you get there. But still, Mrs. Mops was like, I never thought I would find myself in an overall. But they did the exercise, which they enjoyed. They do say that it was especially for Uheb. And Uheb is like, why is it for me? But she was respectful about it. She was like, oh, okay, you guys. But in the diary session, she was like, why do they think that I need a Rage House? But fine, they do the activity. She says at the end she enjoyed it, even though she would never do it again. And then they planned dinner afterwards. So they were going to go to dinner afterwards. And then they go to dinner. Dinner becomes interesting. This is what, guys, correct me if you think I'm wrong. I think that Mrs. Mops has not forgiven Umanche for throwing things at her. So after the Rage House, Mrs. Mops wabala efonini. We're happy to understand why is this thing organized for you. It's because dinner babuze. Guys, I might be wrong, but I think it is because her reaction to what happened at the dinner was like, this one knew this was going to happen. But anyway, they sit at dinner, and then Manche starts with a speech of how they thought it was a good idea to do this for Her Majesty and whatever. Her Majesty listens like, thank you so much. And then she's like, but Ununurai told me what you are going through. And then she's like, what I'm going through? Why am I going through? And then she finds out that Ununurai had told Manche what she's going through. Now, she's trying to find out what was happening for you guys to be talking about that, And Mrs. Mops asked, so did you tell her because you were concerned about Her Majesty, or did you tell her because you guys were gossiping? She's like, no, right? Like, no, it was out of concern. Yeah, right. Obviously, you guys will gossip, but and you feel like, I can't wait to tell somebody this. And I think that was the case here, where she just couldn't wait to tell the others what she heard about Her Majesty, the fact that the side chick, but guys, that was hot. Yay! The side chick was in the car. So then, and then Umanche was trying to explain to Her Majesty, listen, no, but I did it because I was gonna do it anyway because you had shared about the passing of your husband. So now I just did it because I heard from her that you were going through something, and she was trying to touch Her Majesty while she's talking to her. Her Majesty was like, don't touch me. I was like, it's about to go down. It's about to go down. It's about to go down. Anyway, you guys, I do feel like they will end up holding Ununurai accountable for that because she wasn't supposed to tell. If Her Majesty wanted to share the whole thing with the whole group, she could have done it, okay? But at the end, we knew what the whole group is going to find out because they are shooting the show, you know? So I can't wait for next week because that conversation is still going to continue next week where they get to talk about uh, how Her Majesty is not happy with the fact that her story was shared with somebody when she actually did not ask them to share it. Okay. Anyway, you guys, that was the show for today. Let me say this: I enjoyed episode 1 and 2 more than I enjoy episode 3. And I think that the reason for that was that in episode 3, I'm starting to pick up the behind the scenes messiness, you know. They're becoming too obvious about the setting up of the scenes, they're becoming too obvious about the scripting. So unless that improves, I think the show might actually go down the drain if they don't improve that. Because Ama stories, Ama sit downs abo, they seem a little bit more scripted now. So I don't know, you guys. We'll see. I'm still giving this show a chance. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, sizobona, sizobona. I hope it doesn't go down the drain, you guys. So yes, there was a show for today, you guys. And I like I said that I feel like Happy for me is my ultimate favorite because she looks like she's going to, number one, she's sharing a lot about her life, okay? That relationship with her daughter, you know, and it's imperfect too. Her family has a lot of imperfections, but she's still sharing them, okay? Even her sharing that phone call with the baby daddy, I would have been like, "Ay, hambani, kufanele ngifonele lo muntu lo," you know. But she's still, you know, she's sharing a lot. Also, in the setting of a group, she's bringing it in conversations. So, yeah, I think I would say that she is carrying the show. I thought that Mrs. Mobs was going to be carrying the show, but I think that Happy is definitely carrying the show. The show is has been done around Mrs. Mobs live somewhat, but I feel like Happy is definitely carrying the show. Anyway, that's it, you guys. The episode for today. Thank you so much to everybody that joined me in the comment section. Nolutando, Constancy, Zero Volt, All for Health with Jane. By the way, those who have YouTube channels, please comment. If you can't comment in the chat section, comment in the comment section if you are watching after we are finished with the live to say you have a channel so that we can go and subscribe. Zero Volts has a channel. All for Health has a channel. Noltan and Constant, please say if you do have channels. Celia has a channel. Listen, I am still prayerful, Celia, that things are going to turn around when it comes to your channel. And Tabi-san, please say if you have if you have a channel. The Mafu Effects has a channel. Favor has a channel. I always almost call you Favor because my sister is Flavor. Tabi saying, please say if you have a channel, and then please guys subscribe to everybody's channel. I appreciate so much, so much that you joined me today. And like the stream. Do not forget to like the stream and share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers. Minitanda kakulu.